Team Harmon's Southern Draw Outdoors. A little rough around the edges. With your co-hosts, Johnny Coker, John Howard, Matt Goldschmidt,
the old 45 long coat's gonna be in his head here very soon.
And your show host, Mike Smith.
That was a good shot, brother. Woo! That was a good shot, brother. Get your
Team Harmon's Southern Draw Outdoors. A little rough around the edges. Southern Draw Outdoors. This program is being brought to you by Arizona Easy Fletch, Goat Tough Products, Harnon Deer Scent, Team Harmon, King Shadow Camo, M&D Outfitters, North Florida Mud Motor, Roscovi Riser Cam, True Fire, Victory Archery, Southern Draw Outdoors. A little rough around the edges.
Hi, I'm Mike Smith. Welcome to Southern Draw Outdoors. Today we're doing a little gator scouting, and before we get out there I want to show you some of the equipment that we use, and when we get finished with that we're probably going to tell you about a couple hunts. This is a harpoon, and it's basically a 10-foot pole. It's got a steel rod sticking out the end of it with a harpoon tip on it, to a steel cable and a rope. The rope attaches to the other end of the pole. It works as a buoy system. So when you gaff the gator, he just basically drives this around, and then we try to get him back and get another one in him. But the tip will come off, and then that's how the line goes back to the back of the pole, and so on and so on. Another piece of equipment we use is a basic rod and reel. I wouldn't necessarily say so basic, but it's pretty heavy duty. It's got a big treble hook on the end of it. Some folks will use a weighted treble hook. Some people just use different things. This one we had rigged up because the gators were staying on top, and it worked out real well. We wanted our hook to stay up a little bit closer to the surface. And the other thing we got, this is your basic bow fishing reel. It's the old Bear spool, just attached to a bow fishing arrow with a good gig head. And what we've done is we've added an extra large buoy. So he's got to drag that around a little bit harder and get it on down. And then the last but not least, one of the best tools we've got in the boat is the bang stick. It's a very dangerous piece of equipment. This starter key is your only piece of safety device on it. It slips in here like that, which does not allow the shell to detonate. Once you pull the pin, the head goes completely down, the shell detonates, and it's boom on the gator. Now the lights we use while we're out there, this is a 50-watt aircraft landing gear light. It's pretty bright. Sometimes when we get closer we'll go to different lights, and because the brightness sometimes will bother them, but this thing's pretty bright. You'll see it when we get on the hunt, how bright. Before we get on to a hunt, doing something else or a commercial, simple electric tape is probably your best friend while you're out there. You don't tape this actually to the gator, you tape it to itself, going around and around his mouth. That'll keep his mouth shut. One of the other things you want to have is a wood chisel and a hammer. You can sever their spine with a pocket knife, but this, over the years, has seen you get it good and sharp, slide it in right there, a couple good whacks, and you've got a spine severed. And you really want to do that because it's very important.
We'll be right back with more Southern Draw Outdoors. A little rough around the edges.